and welcome to this video. My name is Anushka Gandhi, and in today's video I'm going to be your winter essential shopping guru, because I thought that if you are someone who's coming here in winter or right before the winters, these are some essentials which you need to have as soon as you step down here, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to survive in the harsh winters in Canada. So these are going to be to the point things, exactly the requirements for a newcomer, or I would say fairly new person here in Canada. These are also going to be based upon the mistakes which I made when I was a new person, spending I would say hundreds and thousands of dollars on stuff which I actually did not require. So stay tuned till the end of this video. Again, subscribe to my channel if you're a new person here, because I promise you're going to find a lot of informative stuff on this channel. Now, without wasting any further time, let's get started with this video. So when it comes to Canadian winters, I would say unpredictable is the right word, because you actually don't know what the coldness level is outside until you yourself step out and feel it. So the first thing which comes in front of me in the cold winters here are the winter jackets. They are like the must buys. Now I know many people would be thinking that they would rather buy it from their own country if they're just traveling during or before the winters. Especially if you're coming from India. The same mistake I did was I bought a couple of jackets from India, thinking these would suffice my winter needs or the cold needs when I come here. But the reality was quite different, because the winters here are very harsh, which are beyond your thinking level. So I would say it's partially okay to buy one jacket when you come here or before you come here for the winters, to be prepared to have your own stuff ready to suffice for those initial days. But when it comes to the actual winters, it's the right thing is to get those from the local stores here, because they know what you require and they know the exact climate and the expectations when it comes to the coldness. Because here in stores you're going to find the jackets in the degrees. So you would find jackets who would help you sustain in minus 20 degrees, in minus 30 degrees, minus 40 degrees, even minus 60 degrees. So you would be able to find different categories of jackets in the local stores here. Now when it comes to buying a jacket, there are a couple of things which you need to be mindful about. The first and the foremost thing is the degrees. Like I mentioned, you always have to make sure the material which you're buying is okay for the winters here. It also depends on where you located. For example, if you're in Ontario, minus 20 to minus 30 degrees would still be okay. If you move a little far off when it comes to the north, to the more colder places, you will have to have it to minus 40 and minus 60 or even down. So if you kind of do a window shopping or even in store shopping, you would realize that some jackets would have down written on the material area, like the tag wherein they write about what it is made up of. You would see something called as down. For example, I just bought this jacket a couple of days back, and it has this feather and it says real down. It says real down. So what it basically means is down is a warm feather which comes out of a geese or a duck, and these are like the warmest feathers. So these are going to be, the jackets are basically made up of the fur used from these feathers coming from these ducks or geese, and these are going to keep you warm. So these are like the natural insulation which is used for your jackets, making of jackets, and these are going to be quite expensive as compared to the ones which are made up of polyester. Now when it comes to buying the jackets, I would also like to put it out there that when the first time we step down here, we kind of go for fashion. We always are, if you're an international student, you'd kind of be excited to, you know, flaunt your jacket when you go to your college or your university. So you'd just keep an eye on fashion as well as the jacket quality. What I would say here is don't go for fashion, because at the end of the day, it's the main purpose of wearing the jacket is to keep you warm. The mistake I did when I bought my first jacket was just looking for a bright color, you know, just to pop out when it usually actually is snowing. So you also have to be mindful about the material the jacket is made up of. For example, I bought this very bright kind of a jacket, like a DKNY jacket, and it did not keep me warm. So the purpose was not met. So this is something which I wanted to put it out there, that you have to make sure that it's going to keep you warm. The second thing about jackets is you have to have a hood. A jacket without a hood is not going to help you a lot, because it's when it's actually snowing, it's going to be quite heavy, and when it comes to your face, your nose, your ears, they're going to be all frozen. You would lose all the sensation there if the snow comes right onto your face. So always make sure you have a very good wide kind of a hood, which is going to help you prevent from the actual snow. For example, you just have to have kind of a big hood, which is going to help. Even if the snow falls, it's going to fall off your head, and it's actually not going to bump on your face. The second thing which I usually not prefer is like a fur hood with a fur. People usually prefer that because again it's going to be kind of an extension, which is going to again help you to just prevent your face from getting snow on your face. It's upon you. If you have a big kind of a hood, it's going to help you suffice, and that should be all it. But if you're someone who wants a fancier look, you could go for a hood with a fur, which is obviously going to look quite cute. Now there's one more kind of a jacket which I've seen a lot of people buying these days just to look like a gentleman, is this kind of a jacket, which is like a coat, like a winter blazer or like a winter coat. But again, if you are living in a place where it's very, very cold, I would say just avoid it. It's okay to wear it on occasions or just for parties and stuff. But when it comes to getting preventing yourself from feeling like getting frozen, just go for proper winter jackets. If you're good with down, just go for a down. It could be a bit expensive, but again, it's going to be the best in the market. Or if not, then just go for some other jackets, but definitely not for coats, because they're not going to help. First of all, they have like this deep V neck. All the snow is going to go just inside you. It's going to freeze you. So just avoid from such kind of fancy jackets. Well, after time you would when you prefer to have a few jackets handy, you can definitely go and buy that. But when you're coming here for the first time, just don't spend on such stuff. Buy what is essential for you. Now when it comes to winter shopping, you cannot forget your winter boots. These are like most essentials. Now I don't believe winter boots would come in, I mean they do come in degrees again, just like the jackets. But what I would suggest is just a normal tight fitting or just the best fitting boot would help, because it should be over your ankle, because you don't want the snow to enter into your shoes and wet your socks and eventually freeze your feet. So you have to be mindful that it's above your ankle level, and they also should be furred, because then it's going to be soft for you and going to keep you warm. Snow boots are very essential, because here the ice, especially the black ice, if you walk over the black ice, if you're going to slip over it. I have fallen down many times, especially if you're walking by the road. It's going to be very dangerous. So don't miss on your snow boots. Don't just put on your work boots and just start walking on the road just to avoid that extra trouble. Make sure you wear your snow boots. They are very essential, because the fall is going to be super bad. The next thing is the gloves. Well, when it comes to jacket, I am very mindful that my jacket would have multiple pockets on it, so I can just put my hands inside the jacket and zip off, so I just keep my hands warm. But if you're someone who is not very comfortable with that, put on some winter gloves. Again, when it comes to winter gloves and winter socks, make sure you use it buy it based on the degree chart, because yes, you do have this option wherein you could just choose for -10, -15 degrees gloves and the socks, the winter socks. Don't just put on your normal socks during the winters. The last part is your winter hat or your monkey cap, whatever you like to call it. Again, it's very essential, because your ears are going to be safe. Now what I believe is, if you have a proper big hood on your jacket, you did not actually wear a winter cap. But if you're just wearing a normal jacket, make sure you have that on, because if your ears lose sensation, it actually hits your mind, your brain. So it's always better to be layered, to be covered when it comes to winters, because they're very, very harsh. Now, the next part which I want to mention is when to buy or from where to buy these winter clothes. Now, when it comes to when to buy, I would say not just on any random day, just keep an eye on sale, because in Canada during the winters there are like two bumper sales. The first being in the last week of November, which is also the Black Friday sale, which gives you like 70, 60, 50% off deals, even clearance deals, which are like the winter stuff from previous year, which is still good to use. I mean, if you're getting like a 70% off on something, I believe it's still good to use. The second sale you would find is on the Boxing Day. How can I forget it? So Boxing Day also has got good deals. It's just close to the Christmas time. You'll find a lot of good deals. So November and December are like the best times to buy winter items. And make sure you don't just walk into an expensive store and just get what you find there. You always have this access to online shopping. So all these stores who have their like in-store shopping, they also have an online shopping option and got the same deals online. I would say just even better deals online. So you can always search for items online if you're planning. For example, if I'm planning to walk into Winners or Michael's, I would just go on their online store and find stuff which I think would be better, and then walk into the store and find the exact item, put it on, check if the size and stuff is okay, if it's exactly what I required, and then I'll buy, and then I'll go for it. So this is what you can do. So like I said, November, December, the best times to buy. After that, if you are someone who's coming after the winters or just close to the end of the winters, you can still buy the stuff and keep it for the next year. It's going to be February, March. March and March is going to be the end of season sale, and it's also going to give you some bumper offers, especially on the winter stuff, because I just want to get rid of those items. Now, the second question was where to buy these items from. Now, I know you will find a lot of videos wherein you can find people mentioning things about places wherein you can buy winter stuff. I would just say it's on and on. You can just, there are many stores accessible. Even if you walk into a mall, you would find a lot of stores inside the mall selling winter clothes. But I would still like to give you my two tips here. Is just find out stores like warehouses wherein you would find plenty of options, and since they will have a lot of stuff in a big quantity, they're going to just sell it off for a less and a cheaper deal. Besides that, you could also go to those factory outlets here you would, like in and around here in Ontario where I stay near to Toronto, you would find the Halton Hills factory outlet, you would find the Vaughan Mills factory outlet, or you would find the Niagara factory outlet. So they're like the factory outlet stores, multiple stores located in one mall area, wherein you can find tremendous options from good brands. And like I said, just make sure you just check if your jacket ticks all the requirements which I've mentioned in my video, and I think that should be it. Warehouses and factory outlets are going to give you the best deals. If not, if you think you're not accessible to you, because they're always out of the city area, so you can just go for any stores like Michael's or Winners, even Hudson Bay. Then you just go for Urban Planet. So there are like many stores which would give you a better deal. If not, if you don't want to go for these, if you just want to go for the basic brands, you could just go for Walmart or Canadian Tire. These stores do have cheap, reasonable winter items for a better price. So I think I have covered all what I was looking to cover in this video. If you would still have any questions about literally anything, feel free to reach out to me. Just comment down below and I'll make sure I reply to your comments. So we'll see you back in my next video. Until then, goodbye.